I am in Japan, standing on top of a active volcano, as you guys can see behind me. So when we came to Japan, we wanted to rent an EV just to do an EV road trip here to see about charging and all of the other things. So I decided to go for Nissan just to see if they rent EVs, because Nissan has their own rental company. I was gonna maybe get an Ariya, maybe worst case, get a Leaf. Unfortunately, when I went on the EV tab on the Nissan website, and I'll put an overlay, the only thing that was available was this. So this is the thing that I was able to rent, listed as an EV on the official Nissan car rental website. Now, what the heck is it? This is a Nissan Note E-Power. Yes, it's an E-Power car listed as an EV. Now, you guys are probably wondering, what the heck is E-Power and why is this listed as an EV? Well, I also didn't know, and then decided to look into it. So what is E-Power? Well, basically the way that it works is the gas generator in the car doesn't actually power the wheels. What it does is it funnels electricity, or it charges the battery, very small one, like in a hybrid, and then that battery then moves the motors, the electric motors, which then move the car. So basically it's like a hybrid technology without the need to be connected directly to a gasoline engine. So basically, generator generates power, which charges the battery, battery powers the motors, motors power the car. So then it drives like an EV, it looks like an EV, but is it really an EV? Now, the Nissan website does say that it's an EV, but obviously for many of us, we would just call it a hybrid. It does have regeneration. It does have, in the upper trims, one pedal driving. This one does regenerate electricity quite well, and it does stop if you let go of the gas pedal. But I wouldn't say it's an EV. It's an EV for Japan, because as we all know, Japan is way behind actual battery electric cars. They have this phobia against pure EVs for whatever reason, and companies like Nissan, Toyota, and everybody else has not adapted to what the new world and the future will be in terms of electric cars. We just stopped by this very pretty lake, beautiful location. And here's Rosie posing for photography.
Photography. I'm a photographer.
Austin is the photographer. But yeah, let's focus on the lake. Really, really nice. And then here you go, our quote-unquote EV. Look how professional they are. Much better than me.
She's making me do that.
Yeah, but this spot is amazing. Pretty nice. So this is our second time in Japan, you can say, because we came here for just one day when we were flying to China, and we just spent it in Tokyo, and we didn't enjoy it at all. But now, being here in this countryside setting, mountains, water, volcanoes, it's really growing on us, and it's quite an enjoyable place to travel. I just wish I could have rented a real EV. That is supposed to be Mount Fuji, but unfortunately it's covered in clouds today. But we do get a nice little view, and we're gonna climb up to just take a picture of that famous pagoda there. So a few more steps left here. Quick little introduction of our Nissan Note E-Power. So overall, quite a little compact vehicle. So this is the driver's seat. Obviously it's on the left hand side because, sorry, right hand side because it is a Japanese vehicle. What we really like are the built-in cup holders here instead of in the middle, right? This is way better, it works much better, I would say. Plus a lot of storage on the bottom. You can put a lot of things in there that you need to carry. And because we are traveling with a lot of stuff from China, it is actually quite a car that you can pack with a lot of stuff, right? So we have 3 big bags, roller bags. We have backpacks. We have bags with snacks and all of that, and it all fits very well. One thing I really do like is the camera system here is also for the rear view mirror, which I'm going to show you guys later, and it works really well. So, E-Power. All right, so that's the key thing here. That is their EV technology. And then this is where Austin is sitting. So quite a lot of room for Austin as well. Quite a bit of room there, which is good for long trips like what we are doing. We've got like 2 hours back to Tokyo from here. And then this is the front passenger seat. So again, the cup holder, really good idea on both sides. Lots of room, and everybody is comfortable. So it's not a big car. I mean, most cars in Japan are not big, but overall quite a comfortable setup, I have to say. Okay, so now what we will do is I'll turn on the car and we will go through a little bit of the infotainment. Obviously the styling and everything else, this is something that you guys can say if it's good, bad, if you like it or you don't. It's all up to you. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty cool. Nice little car, right, Rosie?
Yes, I love it.
Yeah. This is the view from the driver's seat. So we have a pretty big infotainment system here. You've got wireless Apple CarPlay, which is nice. You've got your climate controls here. Here you have all of your gear settings and things like that. Even you get a dedicated EV button, but you know, the EV range on this is minimal. Pretty nice information cluster up there, all digital. And this is the digital mirror that I was talking about, which is also very, very nice. But the cup holders, great idea, just here on the sides. I think it works really, really well. So yeah, when we fueled this up, the range was something like 700 kilometers. That's when we picked it up with a full tank. So you're expecting to get about that. It does have, like I said, the regen. It doesn't have the one pedal mode like the upper trims have, but overall a pretty nice car. But not a true EV, unfortunately. We stopped at a little roadside station and they got a family mart and some other things. This is the first time I've ever seen one of these. It looks really, really nice. Toilets. And there's an EV charging station. So they have 2 stalls there, and we've got a Leaf charging. So this charger is only CHAdeMO, that is all. And then there's only one connector, so only one car can charge at one time. And this guy's currently charging at 8.1 kilo. No, that's how much he's getting. So 382 volts, 73 amps. We'll do the calculation on that. Very interesting. And then I'm not sure what this one is. Oh, this is the payment terminal. Okay, so you can pay here if you don't have membership. Yeah, it looks a little complicated. Maybe this is why they don't rent EVs to foreigners. Just to show you guys what this looks like in the inside, it's amazing. You got food everywhere, and the prices are quite normal. So we've got some shumai for 550, but you can always get like other stuff even cheaper. So nice. So we're just before Tokyo and huge traffic jam, so we've got like an hour and 40 minutes to sit in traffic to drive 46 kilometers, which is fun. So it's the best time now, I think, before the sun sets, to give you guys a quick little driving summary. So basically this car feels like it's an EV, so it has that regenerative braking that all of the EVs have. So it feels like driving an EV. A lot of the times, like right now, it's really quiet because it's using the battery, not the generator, right, to generate power, which is also nice. So do I think that this is a cool thing? I mean, I like, battery electric cars more than hybrids like this, right? But I think that this is a good compromise. So I never believed that PHEVs are the way to go, because then you just have a huge battery, you still got to put gas in, and you're going to be carrying all that weight. But here it's a smaller battery, you have a generator, so not really powering the car as it were, it's generating electricity to put into the motors, right, and to fill up that battery. So it's a little bit of a compromise. So when people are transitioning from a legacy combustion vehicle to something like this, I think this is maybe a good first step for them to kind of dip their toes into it to see if they like it, because they do get that feel of driving an EV without being tied to a charging network. And I just showed you guys the one and only charger at a service station on the side of the highway. That is a CHAdeMO, and that's all they have here. Japan as a country, I think, is not ready for EVs. The most EVs we've seen are Teslas, so I guess that there is a larger Tesla charging network here. But apart from that, EVs are few and far between. So having a car like this here, I think it's a nice compromise. Now, for me, I would have something like this as a second car, just so that, we live in Alberta, right? So there isn't much charging anyways. And in the winter, it would be nice to have a car like this that is very efficient, still uses electricity in some way, and it gives you that feel of driving an EV. So overall, I think, it's not an EV. I don't think they should market it as such, but as a hybrid, battery-powered vehicle, I think it's pretty good. So now that we were back from Japan, I want to reflect on what we saw and what we experienced. So I still believe that this Nissan is a pretty good car. The way that they developed this technology and made hybrid a little bit more like an EV, I think works well. You have regenerative braking, you have one pedal driving in the higher trims, and it kind of makes sense because the network of EV charging in Japan isn't built out. As you guys can see, we went to a very busy roadside station. There was one CHAdeMO 50 kilowatt charger, and on the side of a highway, one charger. That tells me that there's not a lot of people actually driving EVs, right? And throughout our time there, we didn't see that. And because I wasn't able to rent an EV through the Nissan car rental website, I wasn't able to test it out myself. But look, I said in the video that this would be a very good car to have as a second vehicle. And a lot of EV owners still have a second ICE car, a truck or whatever, right? Where we live here in Alberta, some places are inaccessible without an EV because there's just not enough charging. So having something like that that feels and mimics an EV and is super efficient to drive would be a great second car if that's what you're looking for. Or if you're on the cusp of going EV, but you're not 100% certain if this is for you, but you would like to see how it drives and how it feels, this car's perfect because it does feel like an EV. So yeah, I'm kind of torn, I think that Nissan and Toyota and other Japanese manufacturers need to start looking seriously at the EV space. I know there's many reasons why they don't want to do that. I won't get into that in this video, but I'm hoping that that will change in the future and we will see better and
nicer EVs coming out of Japan from Japanese manufacturers. But anyways, this Nissan E-Power, not a bad little car. It took us from point A to point B. It was comfortable, it was efficient, and it did its job. Is it an EV? No, it isn't. Not even close. But it's the best that Japan can offer, I think, right now, based on what I saw in terms of their infrastructure and their willingness for their whole country to start embracing electric cars. All right, thanks so much for watching. If you liked the video, make sure you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.